edition. Todd Flesner here, alongside my co-host, Debbie and Giordano.
Hi, Todd.
Hey, Deb.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year with 2018.
It is.
Yeah, it's our first show of the year, and so
Yeah.
we're glad that folks have tuned in here, Channel 26 with us.
Yep.
They can pick us up either Monday, Wednesday, or Friday evenings at 6:30, or Saturday and Sunday mornings at 9, I believe.
You got it.
All right. Got the schedule down. So, thanks for joining us. So, Deb, you've got a guest for us today.
I do. Last minute, and I love this guy. We've worked so many years together. Dale Flunoy of the City of Milpitas in the is it Parks and Services?
It's Recreation and Community Services.
Recreation and Community Services, which we're going to have a few questions and get to know a little bit more about that. So, welcom, Dale.
Thank you.
Thank
Welcome.
you for. I knew you had about a half an hour notice for the show. So you're amazing. So we like to kind of begin the show by talking a little bit about your background, on where you grew up, where you were educated, and what might have brought you to this area. Okay.
So I'm an Army brat. We moved here in the early 60s. I went through the Milpitas School District system. I went to elementary school at Milpitas Weller Elementary School, and went to junior high at Thomas Russell, and high school at Milpitas High School. So our family's been here for about almost 58 years.
Okay.
So I went through Mission College for my general ed, and graduated at Cal State East Bay in the field of recreation and supervision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, terrific.
And what do you like most about living in the Bay Area then?
You know, when we moved here, the Bay Area was a third of what it is now. And just watching it grow and seeing the diversity build from what it was to what it is now just makes you feel like you're part of the whole system. When we grew here, Milpitas had one high school. They were just building Milpitas High School. And so I've seen it grow from this beautiful little town that it is to this great community it's become. So I'm very proud to be here and to be able to have worked here this whole time. So
Terrific. So you're a hometown kid. That's great.
I am.
So what path was it that led you to where you are now in terms of being in recreation and working for the city and the community here?
So I have to say the first thing that really stuck out to me, because I've been asked this a few times in when my classes and stuff in my education, is in 7th grade, my science teacher at that time was Russell Block, and he taught at Thomas Russell. And at that time, the day camps were run by the school district and the city, and he asked me if I'd help him out one summer as a volunteer to work in the day camp. And that summer I did it, and I did it every year until I graduated, and then started working in recreation as a part-time employee, and it's been here for that long. So I've been here for almost 38 years now.
So what is your administrative capacity right now with the city?
I am the recreation supervisor, and I oversee the Milpitas Community Center. And I have under me right now, I have 3 full-time staff and 8 part-time staff, and that can range anywhere up to 15.
Okay. So, City of Milpitas Recreation Services, you've got stuff for just about everybody. Tell us a little about what are some of the things that you do for the community.
So we put on all the city-sponsored special events, and that is everywhere from the summer concert series to movies in the park. Our biggest one that we put on is our 4th of July celebration that we do every year. We do our annual tree lighting event. We've added some new events, like our newest one that will be coming up will be in February. It's the Chinese New Year's Year of the Dog celebration that we're doing on February 8th. We're inviting the community to come out to that. And, you know, we always try to add new events as our community changes and our population changes and the needs change. We try to add and make everything so it hits all needs of the residents and the families of Milpitas.
So, Joe, let me ask you, so those events, are they listed on the city's website where folks can easily get to that information?
They are. They're under the Recreation Department. Okay. Some of them will just have just the names because all the dynamics aren't worked out for it yet. But we do list our calendar on there for the year for our special events.
So by coordinating special events, I mean, you really are a conduit for bringing the community together.
We like to see that. We like to be the person that brings all the fun to to the City of Milpitas Recreation, everybody's like, oh, they're the fun ones, and yes, we are. We like to throw the parties and have people attend our events and be out there to have fun and have all these nice things that make them feel happy and able to come out and be part of the community at the same time.
Well, we like to save this question for last, but I think now's the time to ask it. So what are the current challenges in the field of recreation that you find?
Currently, it's trying to fill all the needs for everybody that is in Milpitas, whether it's resident or whether it's a company. We've grown so much, and we don't have much open space left. To have an area to hold a special event or to have a big event where people can come, we're very limited on that. So our biggest goal for us is in recreation is to find an area that we can have our special event where we can accommodate multiple people or hundreds and thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands, but up to 1,000 people. So it's space right now.
And I know your 4th of July, that's always overfill.
That's very overfill.
Overfill.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned, space and the fact that you oversee the community center. Tell folks about what are some of the facilities and all that the city of Milpitas has, and if they haven't been able to, haven't been down to the community center, what sort of things are available here?
So at the community center, we have our main hall is our auditorium, which is available for rental to use for weddings, parties, whatever you need to use it for. It's our biggest room. It'll hold up to 300 people seated. Then we also have classrooms in there. We have pre-K enrichment classes. Our children's theater is held out of there. And above and beyond the community center, we also have our senior center. We have our sports center. And then we have the Higuera Adobe building that we have available, and the new Sal Crackalisi building. So we have 5 buildings that are able that people can use to rent for parties or get-togethers or where we hold a class.
Assuming that rents out up to a year in advance?
Yes. Milpitas residents can rent any of our facilities and our parks up to a year in advance. Non-residents are 6 months in advance.
How about like parks and fields and that sort of thing? I saw a little while back, we've got the brand new sports field there over at the community center, and there's been some discussion about, use of that. What sort of spaces are available for folks for those sort of activities?
So currently in Milpitas, we have over 30 parks, green space parks that are open for people to use. All of them don't have picnic areas or restrooms, but we have in our activity guide, or if you want to come to the community center, we have a list of all parks and all the amenities that they offer at those parks that people that we suggest that people rent because our parks are very popular.
So you can reserve a spot if you have a group or an event that you want to have. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
You mentioned the word activity guide. So how often does that come out? How can folks get that? And what's inside that activity guide?
So it's on our webpage under Milpitas, on the recreation website. But we do have hard copies that come out 3 times a year. So we have a winter, spring, and our summer. Our spring just came out. Registration for that will start on the 22nd of January.
Okay.
And then our big one is our summer one, because that includes all of the summer swim lessons, all of our day camps, and all the activities for kids to do while they're out of school. And that will be available in April, and that will go all the way into the end of August, and then we go into
it's mailed out to residents, or do they need to come pick one out?
They can get them online or come by and pick them up. We don't know.
Okay, good. So, and second part to the question, so that deals with some of the recreation services and all that. How do you feel, since you've been around this department so long, how does that bring value to the residents?
Nowadays, kids and families don't have that time to actually get out and have things to do for recreation. So we're that conduit that can. Oh, look, they're having a movie night. Let's take the family out to the park and watch a free movie. Or we have a summer concert series. Or they're having an Oktoberfest, which was something new that we brought last year. We're that
You help to bring families together.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, we bring the residents and the families together to be able to have fun and just relax.
Well, good. Well, you mentioned the Oktoberfest, a new event, the Year of the Dog event coming up. Where do you get the ideas for these new things? And can people suggest things?
Great.
We do take suggestions from people. We do try to do surveys. So we use SurveyMonkey a lot, and we send it to our database that we have in our system. And then we do surveys at our special events, and we try to get input from it. Now, we can't do every event that everybody wants to do. It's all tied to, the budgetary system. But we do try to change and keep everything new and innovative, so people are enjoying it. So it's not the same thing year after year every time we do the event.
Well, you brought up surveys. How long have you been doing those surveys?
I've been in recreation in the position of overseeing special events for almost 20 years, so we've been doing it that whole time.
Wow, cool. Great.
Yeah, we do like the input from the general public and from residents. It's not just we're making the decision of what we're going to do. We like to make sure we're hitting what people like to see out there.
How about looking down the road? What are some of the goals or objectives that you have as a recreation division?
We want to continue reaching out and bringing all of our residents together and having things that all of our residents want to do, whether it's pre-K, whether it's seniors. We cover all the spans in between. We want to be able to offer things that our residents can do and feel happy about doing, and have an outlet to do things that they don't normally have to get to.
I got another question. I got a skateboarding kid at home. What's up with the skate park?
You won't forgive me if I don't answer that question. I can answer. I can tell you that it's still in the works. I don't know where the process of that actually is. I'm not part of that project, but I know they're still working on that.
Okay, that's good. That's
I'll tell them to be patient.
So, Dale,
Yes.
how about you? Let's see, any of your personal goals and objectives?
You know, my personal goals were to be part of the recreation since I was, when I started volunteering, and then when I got hired part-time, even though I wasn't full-time the whole time, I never left the job. So I've been with the city for a long time, and my goal is to be part of the team that is able to make all these things happen for the residents. Because for me, it's the satisfaction in seeing the smiles on people's faces that they get to attend these events or do our classes or our activities or come to the senior center and hang out with people that have something to do.
Great. Well, Dale, it's been great to get a chance to know you and meet you.
And we do, is there a direct phone number for recreation? Do you want to give that out?
Yeah, so our main number for recreation is the community center, so it's 408-586-3210.
Perfect.
Well, you're a living testimony to the fact that Milpitas is a great place because you never left.
That is true. That is true.
And your department adds to the quality of life
Well, thank
here
you.
in
Thank
Milpitas
you.
for the residents. So we appreciate you very, very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you a pelican? Does this look like your house? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you use your feet as fishing hooks? Are you your own boat? Do you have webbed feet? No, I mean like a... That's the one. Do you want this in your favorite lake? Yuck. Yikes. No thanks, mister. Regardless how you answer, you need to be licensed and registered because it helps local conservation efforts protect the very natural resources you enjoy boating and fishing in for generations to come. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
Welcome back, everybody. You're watching Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie and Giordano, along with Todd Flesner.
Hello.
Todd is our local loan broker expert in the field, and we're here to give you a wrap-up. This is, we're almost through the month of January, just a few more days, and first month of 2018 is done and out of the way. We've had a little turmoil. Government shut down a few days ago, and the stock market has just gone berserk.
Yeah. Lots happening.
Lots happening, and then the real estate market. So I'll comment on that end, on where we are with pricing and all that. But let's shift over to what impacts you've seen with the tax reform and.
Well, that's really that's there are all sort of things happening in the economy. The tax bill that was passed just here a few weeks back is really having probably a dramatic impact on a lot of that. We're starting to see companies announce bonuses to employees, reinvestment in our community. The stock market is really been taking off even more than it has been. jobs are strong. The outlook for growth in the economy remains strong. So that's terrific. But I'm also getting the question about, okay, how does the changes in tax deductibility, how does it impact our local market here? There are a couple things specifically that the new tax plan.
And we know California was hit hard.
Yeah.
Here, I think New York was hit hard.
Yeah. You know, with SALT, right? State and local taxes are limited to $10,000.
Okay.
All right, and mortgage deduction is limited now to mortgage on $750,000. And then if you have a second mortgage, equity line of credit, those under some circumstances are no longer tax deductible. But the question about, does it still make sense tax-wise to buy a home?
Okay.
Well, I've crunched the numbers. That's what I do.
Okay.
And you know, we'll see the numbers here for Milpitas. But you know, median home is about $1 million, let's say, right? Well, 25% down, that's a $750,000 loan. That's the maximum that you can deduct, right, under the new tax plan. And you can take $10,000 in property taxes. The interest on $750,000 is about $30,000 a year.
Okay.
All right, $10,000 a year in property taxes. That's a $40,000 write-off that you have against your taxes. Well, also the amount you can deduct as an individual has gone up if you don't itemize to $12,000 per. That's $24,000 for a couple. So $40,000 versus $24,000 in a year. That's $16,000 additional write-off. If you buy the median priced home here in Milpitas, right?
Okay.
Apply to that the 24% federal tax rate, 9% tax rate. It's still a $6,000 net savings in taxes, depending upon your tax situation, AMT and other things.
And that's just taxes alone.
That's
not equity growth, stability, and all the other features that come with home ownership.
So $6,000, that's $500 a month in your pocket.
In your pocket.
Tax-wise.
Nice.
And it's just doing some easy math, right?
Okay.
Again, everybody's situation is different, but it still makes sense, I think, from a tax perspective. It's maybe not as great of a tax advantage as it used to be, but it's still there.
Okay.
All right?
There was talk before they did finally pass the tax reform that they were going to eliminate it completely.
Yes.
And I know that was added back in last minute, so we're grateful for that.
Correct. Yeah. The other question is, okay, if I have a second mortgage, right? The ability to deduct interest on a second mortgage has gone away. So you might want to take a look at, does it make sense perhaps to combine a first and second mortgage if you have a current equity line or a second mortgage. So now you have one single mortgage.
Now, are they equity lines that are already grandfathered in, or is this just new ones that you take out in 2018?
You know, we're still waiting to see some of the details on this and exactly.
Check with your CPA,
check with your CPA.
Okay.
But there may be some incentive to take a look at how that might play out for your situation.
Okay, great.
How about the market?
But the market, we were just talking offline before we started the taping. So I sold a home today at five offers. So we are getting multiple offers. I might have expected a few more than that, but that's okay. It is the start of the season. What typically happens is buyers are out looking, and I had a huge weekend of activity, over 125 buyers through the 2 days. Okay. So that's why I would have expected a little bit more than 5 offers. But typically buyers, as they're starting to look at the beginning of the year, they sort of hold off until they find the right property, then they get beat out, and then they start looking for anything that just suits them, and that's down in February, March, April, they start upping their antes and making more offers.
Okay, so
January is typically slow.
But still strong foot traffic.
And 140,000 over list. So, yep.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at what's going on in December of 2016 with MLS. We were at $982,000 for a single-family average price and $876 for a median price. Last month, December 2017, are you ready for this? It's jumped up to $1,220,000 for the average price. So when you quoted $1 million with your tax number, you maybe have to revise that to $1.
I was thinking about last year.
You were thinking last year. You were right. And then the median price last month went to $1,130,000. So let's look at condos. A huge bump in that. Average price $645,000, median $620,000, in December of 2016, and last month it jumped up to $849,000 for an average and $851 for median. So I mean, I never dreamed the condo market would be as hot as it's gotten, because we have a plethora of condos now built in Milpitas.
Right.
I still predict that you're going to see higher value in single-family detached homes. That's going to really appreciate this year.
You still see a very strong demand for that.
Buyers, particularly ones that have families, really want the lot, the fenced yard, two-car garage. They want that suburban kind of feel.
Sure.
And they'll pay money for that.
Okay. Well, so the market continues to be strong. Great time to sell a home too?
Great time to sell. I've got sellers lining up as we speak. So it's going to be a great year.
Terrific. Folks have questions.
Yes, about the show or anything else here. GiordanoDJ@AOL.com is my email.
T. Flesner at opusadvisors.com.
And you do a good job of walking through with the buyers a lot of the facets of their financial planning, not just the loan itself. And I know you do a really good job doing that.
Well, thanks. And I think it's important for people to take a look at the overall perspective of how does this a big decision of buying a home fit with the other goals they have in life.
Good.
So,
all right. See you in a few weeks.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care.